Man, do I need a haircut. Hey guys, it's Bob here from Bob's Plumbing Videos. This past Sunday, which I believe was May 2nd, I got a call at about 4:30 in the afternoon from an old-time customer that the water relief valve coming off the boiler was running and running and running, and she got all nervous. I called her back about an hour later, and at that point, when she didn't hear from me, she got nervous and called somebody else. They came in. They couldn't isolate the water because the valves on the feed to the boiler water supply were stripped. There were two gate valves, one on the inlet, one on the outlet, so they just kept turning and turning and turning. So basically, the gentleman told her, you're just going to have to empty out buckets as they fill up. The problem was that this valve was running on so much that she was, just emptying buckets in tandem, and she couldn't see herself doing that all night long, and I don't blame her. Well, at any rate, I got there the next morning, and after I assessed the situation, I immediately found the boiler drain at the back of the boiler, and I put a hose on it and draped it into a slop sink just to relieve the water, because as fast as it was coming in, it was going out. But at that point, she didn't have to empty out buckets anymore. And then I put it to her, would you really want to make this repair on a 51-year-old system? And she had to consult with her mother, which she did, and the decision was made to make the repair, and that's what this video is about. So check the video out. If you're enjoying my channel, I would really appreciate it if you subscribe, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so you'll be posted of a new video. Check this video out, and I'll hit you back at the end. Oh, and before I forget, one more thing I want to mention is that before I was scheduled to do this job, I was informed by the owner's daughter that she was coming home from the hospital just after being treated for the COVID-19 virus. Talk about being nervous. Well, anyway, we all had face protection on, and I spoke to her beforehand and said, listen, I'm going to be working down the basement. I didn't have a problem with it. My only request was that after I was done with the work, would she mind going throughout the house and bleeding all the air out of the radiators, which she did. She did a great job. So, folks, I know this COVID thing has got everybody on edge. I got mixed feelings about everything, although I'm of the age. They tell me that if I get it, it could be a problem, but I don't know. I'm a healthy guy. I don't have any underlying health issues. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video, and yeah, check this out. It was a 51-year-old boiler. I was a little apprehensive about doing repairs, but hey, the woman didn't want to do a boiler replacement. Got to respect her wishes, and that's it. So enjoy this video. So the call came to me on a Sunday, and by the time I called her back, which was about an hour later, she got a little nervous. She called somebody else in. They couldn't shut the feed valve off, and they couldn't shut the service valve on the heating side of the boiler. So they basically put a bucket under it and told her she's going to have to empty out buckets, which really didn't work out too well because the buckets were filling up faster than she could empty them out. Actually, by the time I got there, I never saw a feed valve fail to such an extent that it was putting water in at such a fast rate. Anyway, when I got there on Monday, I went behind the boiler. I found an old boiler drain. I hooked up a garden hose and I draped it into her slop sink and basically told her to just keep this valve open until a decision was going to be made as to whether we were going to do a repair or do a boiler replacement. And so the hose was draped into the slop sink, and as you can see there, the water was running at a pretty good clip. And so, she didn't have to worry about emptying the buckets and getting water all over the floor. Now, this is a very, very old Weil-McLean H-Series boiler. It's vintage. She tells me that the boiler was 51 years old. And honestly, on a 51-year-old boiler, my recommendation was to do a replacement rather than a repair. But her mother is in ill health, and she didn't want to spend the money on a replacement, so we decided to do the repair. And basically, here's a look at the job before I got going. And you can see that dual fill valve there in the middle that's kind of pointing down to that bucket. That was just pouring out of there along with the relief valve because the pressure built up so much that they just ran on and on. And these old boilers still had the old expansion tanks up in the ceiling. You could see the way they would just strap them up there with band iron. I don't know how safe that was, but that's the way they did them. They just strapped them up in between the bays. And those things really needed to be drained down annually. And here's a look at what had to be done. So you have the water valve going to the water heater with the tag on it. Then you have that other valve, which is the boiler feed valve. That's a gate valve. It was stripped, just kept turning and turning and turning, as well as the valve on the outlet side of that dual valve. It just kept turning and turning and turning. So he couldn't shut off the street side. He couldn't shut off the heating side. And therefore, you know, without having to shut her water main off, there wasn't really too much that he could do, but I figured the hose was better than nothing until she made a decision. Anyway, here's another shot of that old boiler, and as you can see, it got quite a bit of asbestos on there. And, you know, if a replacement was going to be done, that was going to be an issue. But we were going to proceed with the repair. And first thing I did was I actually on-soldered the original feed valve very carefully. Got that all cleaned and buffed up and ready for a new ball valve. So I always put a ball valve naturally on the inlet and also on the outlet on the boiler side, which I just use as a service valve. And as you can see there, I have that valve there on the right side. And that's just a service valve. That's for me in case there's problems in the future and I want to isolate the heating system without having to drain down the whole system again. So I always do that. Sometimes I'll take those handles off. And here's a look at the job with the new valves, both on the inlet and the outlet. Then you have your backflow preventer, which was a code upgrade. You have the fill valve, and you have a check valve, which was a code upgrade, which she didn't have before. And so while I was doing it, why not do it now? Replace the 30 PSI relief valve and repiped the overflow down toward the bucket. Hey guys, we're almost at the end of this video, and what I wanted to say to all the tradespeople out there, in particular the plumbers or anybody doing residential service, there are going to be situations where we're going to have to go out. Leaks pop up, lights go out, etc. And we're going to have to get out there and take care of our customers, but we're also going to have to, you know, make sure we're safe. We're working amongst this crazy COVID virus situation. So my advice to everybody out there is, you know, wear your gloves, wear your mask, wear your coveralls, do whatever you have to do to protect yourself, take care of the customer and get them up and running. But again, stay safe. So with that being said, let's get to the end of this video and I will speak to you at the end. And she'll be good to go with that once we get everything done. I also abandoned the ceiling mounted expansion tank and installed a new modern sealed diaphragm expansion tank along with a service valve there too, so I could isolate that if there are any problems in the future. And in this particular case, I took the handle off because I don't want anybody shutting the handle off, which would, you know, eliminate anywhere for the water to go for expansion. So I didn't want to chance anybody accidentally shutting it off. And here's another shot of that same valve. Sometimes I leave them on, sometimes I leave them off. It depends, you know, depends on the customer actually. If I can trust that they won't touch it, I'll leave the handle on. And then what I do is I go over and I start tagging all my valves and I'll note what the valves are for. This way, if there's a question or a phone call comes up and which valve do I shut, or if there's a problem, they can tell me what the valve says and I can guide them as to exactly what, you know, what's going on. And here's another shot of the completed job. You know, we filled it up. It filled up rather well. I had actually the customer's daughter going around to each radiator with a cup starting on the first floor to bleed the radiators while I was downstairs monitoring everything. And then finally, as with all my jobs, got to note everything I did, date it. You could see there, 5/7/2020. This job was done, just this past week. And it also reminds me of what I did if I ever get called back in the future. And finally, we'll step back, we'll take a look, and there it is. So the job heated up. Everything was hot, first floor, second floor. She was happy. Her mom was happy. I was happy with the way it turned out. Hey, it's 51 years old. Could it go tomorrow? Sure it could. Could it go this winter? Sure it could. But she knows that. So anyway, this was a longtime customer that I've been dealing with for many, many years. And her daughter actually called on Sunday. and we were talking, and she informed me that her mom was in ill health. She actually was suffering from lung cancer. Now, I don't know what stage it was at. I felt a little funny, asking about that. But what she did tell me is that she just recovered from the COVID-19 virus, and she was coming home from the hospital the day before I was going to perform this work. Wow, talk about being a little nervous. Anyway, I said to her, would she mind, after I finished my repairs downstairs, going through the floors, first floor, second floor, and bleeding the radiators of all the air? And I gave her a lesson on how to do it. And she did it. She was very diligent. She did a great job of bleeding all the air out. We all had masks on. I had a mask. She had a mask. Her mom had a mask. But it was a little crazy, the fact that there was somebody in the house that just got over this virus. You know what? What can I say? I mean, this is the world we're living in now. I can't wait for this whole thing to be over. In my mind, I probably would have preferred to put a new boiler in. I mean, it's a 51-year-old boiler. Anything could happen. I mean, it could last another year, 2 years. It could last 5 more years. And at the same token, when October rolls around, the thing could conk out on her. But she didn't want to spend the money. And I think at this stage of the game, her health is priority. Anyway, folks, I hope you're enjoying the videos. I'm trying a little different format. I'm going to try to get some live video. As I stated before, some people are a little antsy about me setting up video equipment in their house. But at any rate, I'm going to keep trying. If you're enjoying the channel, please consider subscribing. Also, don't forget to hit the notification bell so you'll be notified of when I post new videos. But more importantly, hit that like button. YouTube loves it when you hit that like button. It's great for the YouTube algorithm. Stay tuned for a couple of videos that are going to pop up here to your right. One of them I chose, one of them YouTube chose. Folks, I want to thank you again for stopping by and watching my videos. I appreciate it greatly. Stay well, and until my next video, happy plumbing.